What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review a 2006 EP by Plain White T's. Basically, this particular product is called Hey There, Delilah, and it came out in the spring of 2006. Now, within Fair's about to hear within these pitches, as far as the Fair's going to happen, this particular album is like the precursor to like the hit album from 2006, later on in 2006 by Plain White T's, which was Every Second Counts, as far as this Fair's going to happen. Now, that particular album also is the home to the hit single Hey There, Delilah within these pitches, which is some banging typeness, but within the aspect, this particular product came out this particular project came out a little bit beforehand, because I think more or less in the pitch behind it, yeah, basically off of every second counts pitches like that within those type of varieties, that is a bonus song, that particular tune within those pitches, because it was kind of an earlier in 2006 type song. It's kind of a widespread song of a single, as far as what's going to happen within those pitches, as far as being like a breakout type hit for like the spring and summer of 2006. But within these particular hit type varieties, pitches like that, this is the home type product where it originated from, pitch like that. Now within these pitches, I recommend all four songs that are new songs off here, pitch like that. So this EP gets a 10 out of 10 Sunny Stuff Fairs. But I'm not going to talk about the two variations, the Hey There Delilah, because they're basically the same as it was on Every Second Counts. So within these pitches, as far as these fairs going to happen, I have basically reviewed Every Second Counts, but it's not going to surface until later into 2026 pitches like that, or even further. It's kind of aspects as far as saying, but I reviewed that particular within these fairs. I've reviewed a couple of Plain White T's products, but both of which are not going to surface for further in the future. But I look after here as far as saying this is the hit type product, so this is going to manifest within it's going to be some March type fairs to get to here, pitch like that. But within Friday, as far as saying the fair about particular Plain White T's, this kind of the pitch as far as saying that they have some pretty good hit alt rock, and on this particular album they have traces of leftover vibes of like particular Weezer from like 98, 97, some type pitches, and like Green Day from around those eras as well. This alt rock kind of dredge bleed type bands, pitches like that, like Marcy Playgrounds and fairs like that within those aspects. It's that typical kind of McDonald's rumps and aspects like that, just in the orangey kind of skies. But it's kind of the aspect as far as saying the fair about like particular Plain White T's, they always had like some degree of relative type difficulty of getting a hit as humongous as like Hey There Delilah within those pitches, which is kind of a surprise hit just in the fairs as far as saying just the product of being like a real good acoustic kind of picnic lick type song within these pitches. So it's kind of the variety as far as saying within these aspects, as far as paying attention towards it, that kind of it's within the variety. I think that is just kind of more of a lightning in a bottle type song within those pitches. It's kind of difficult. Like acoustic songs are pretty difficult to follow up within those pitches, because the way that the riffage on those has to be particularly fair, it is just not as complex that you think of back-to-back kind of acoustic type hits pitches like that. I mean, possibly like Ed Sheeran in certain type senses has some of that type fair, but even his type one's kind of varied within those pitches. They just tend to have like the similar type tenor and pitch like that makes a differential, the word they just feel like the same song pitch like that. But some hit type appeals, it's a nice kind of Sunday type song pitch like that, just having like iced teas and lemonades, fairs like that, just picnic out in like the park and fairs like that. It's really nice spring and summer type, like great April song, great June type song, and early June songs that pitch, and when it's warm out, this good flowery type fair pitch like that. Take a bell out on like a particular Parkside Endeavor pitch like that, just some quality connect pitch like that as far as this press but within the pitch, as far as saying this particular fair, most of this particular EP the rest of this EP is very different from like the fair about it as far as these products can happen, but it's just with an aspect of being like that usual dredge. Just get this Weezer on here, pitch like that. So if you're familiar with like the Make Believe album by Weezer, and definitely like the late 90s Weezer type products, some of those type pitches, it's actually more within the product of it. I want to say more or less that Weezer didn't really have like a 98, 99 type album pitch like that. It was kind of the fair that they went from like, I think Pinkerton came out in 96 or something like that, and then they particularly went, and then they took some years off until 2001 with the Green album. But it's kind of pitched as far as saying just that particular type variety, just feeling like the Blue album from 94 by Weezer, and then Green Day from like 97, kind of Nimrod type days, some type pitches. But definitely that sort of variety, just the dredge factor, kind of within a relative type scent to like American Idiot by Green Day within certain type pitches, but just not as banging within like the Frosty Amongst within like the tones and tunes like American Idiot and Holiday, some of that girth of the size that those particular ones got to. So it's just kind of a more common kind of aspect of like alt rock kind of dredge and pitches like that. Still a classic EP here, some of these type pitches. So yeah, I'd say 10 out of 10 pitches like that. This as far as being able to say. So talk about these four songs within these pitches. Now, particularly Hey There Delilah was the only single off this project, but just within the pitch as far as saying, I recommend all four of the songs. So yeah, simple enough. So easy way out to hitting type ones, like a good evening jaunt to get to here and embrace. I definitely say good products like that. Just some Doritos glitz to get and listless kind of track. I'd say about some of the fairs. Just kind of miss the aspect as far as it's kind of aimless wander, some type aspects, just miss the tone of going for like a town strut, some type fairs, just picking up simple kind of cooler and Doritos, some type aspects amongst it. Good type varieties of just feeling like a town strut, some stuff ordeals, just some gal pickups on top of that. So just within these pitches, as far as like the players can have them pick up like some almond joy, some stuff aspects with the pick up like some almond joy, some of these type aspects within the hit type variety, good pitch like that. Has some good pep to a step pitch like that. Just a good nice one to kind of get towards the date evening, seeing some of that pitches just amongst the probably like a good fiery kind of feels like a nice Thursday, Friday evening type tune. More probably over with the aspect more of like a Thursday evening type bop pitch like that. Just more excitement than normal pitch like that for just like some city squares and pitch like that. Some of that particular type grub and socialized pitch like that. Some of that Fridays. Get some good cuisine in your system, pitch like that within those aspects. Good excellent fair as far as this pitch can happen. Down the road is a hitting type one as well within these aspects as far as the fair's going to go. It's like a miss, like some quality kind of day, break free and air, I'd say, within these products as far as these pitch can go. It's like some good emo gula. This particular song is like some good emo gulag to get to here, pitch like that. Just need a drive, I'd say. Some of these stuff fair is definitely get the driving out of your system. Some of these stuff products just amongst like the break free or just kind of glad to be done with day task pitch like that. Just get some talk about in your system, kind of clear up from like the aspect to like the dredge factor. Just get it. Probably could use like a quality chat with like a bell on top of that. Some of that pitches amongst the price. A hit type feels pitches like that. The hit song Down the Road is like a particular song off the American Idiot album, like American Idiot, the title track, and Holiday Songs that pitches, but just without the mammoth kind of like backing within like variety like the everyday radio type feel. It's good accent pitches with that same sort of punk kind of edge factor, just some good break free head into like restaurant type fare and some cut loose pitch like that. Just yeah, definitely get some talk about. So these are some of these type ones. The dredge factor is kind of on here. It's not as much full bound within the tariff type sense as far as like the product of getting shit face pitches like that. Since that varies amongst it, it has like Thursday type songs in here with certain type pitches, but kind of aspects more Wednesday, Thursday, more so than Friday, Saturday pitches. Some of these type fairs, but definitely would be some good products to throw in some Taco Bell on their pitch like that to kind of keep the spice of it without it getting too gulag pitch like that for at least down the road in some of these type ones. And probably If I Told You pitch like that. But losing myself to hitting type ones like a glare kind of Green Day and Weezer kind of typical. The hit song Losing Myself like a glare kind of Green Day and Weezer kind of typical 4 o'clock p.m. kind of blase, I'd say, pitch like that. Just local romps, some of those type fairs, just some bills paid to kind of get done pitches on top of that. Good type fairs, visits with pals and good bells and mind signs that pitches amongst it. Strategy ass day, some of those type fairs are just kind of good. Strategy ass day, some of those type products that just good connect. Some of these type fairs within the pitch just to come through, just have like a good hit kind of. Have like a good hit, kind of quality party favorite mind sense to pitches, like something tasty within the delectable type sense to kind of keep the spice of it. Like, hey, yeah, within the definite, hey, you're a sight for sore eyes type products, and those type pitches amongst it, just picking up some crispy Korean sense that fair is getting towards some of those type products that just keeping the spice of it. It's kind of the fair dislike. I mean, the fair about a lot of these is they're pretty substandard within like the pitch, like the dredge factor. These are just commonplace type ones. Plain white teas is a pretty simplistic. Plain white teas are pretty simple, not to say simple in terms of quality, but just vanilla kind of MySpace band pitch like that. One of the factor type ones in the pitch is like the usual type factor. Green Day was pretty good at that as well within those pitches. Just it's a usual typical kind of 2000s band pitch like that. Green Day, Weezer, Plain White Tees, some of that folks in the aspect. Foo Fighters, some of those type pitches, kind of variety as far as saying was just the aspect just coming through with something, coming through with some good snaz and party favors, good pitches like that. It's the usual kind of dredge and mundane as far as what's going to happen. But yeah, then these products, If I Told You, is a hit type one as well as like a vintage kind of late 90s kind of alt rock kind of Weezer style crest and get to here pitch like that. Just have some McDoubles in your system. Good type fairs, this vehicle kind of simp chat. Good fairs like that, get to some connect as far as these fairs go. So this kind of pitch as far as that product, it's either Porsche type fair, vehicle type fair, some type pitch. It's that usual type fair that takes it back to 97 with days like Sex and Candy and Sherry Frazier, some type ones with an aspect as far as these tones can have St. Joe on the school bus, some type folks amongst like the particular fair, just like 97 type fair, other type tunes like If You Could Only See, some type products, but more kind of within an alt rock kind of disc within the fashion, more Green Day and Weezer, some of that more punk type edge, not quite as much the opiate type aspects within like the tone of Marcy, Playground, and Tonic, but kind of the more, this is not quite as lost and quite as aghast, not quite as addled, I'd say, within this pitch, but this kind of variety, just like that dredge, just kind of with a typical kind of yellowy or orange skies nest. It's just that good typical type pitch, so definitely feels like within certain type varieties of Beverly Hills and like definitely feels like certain type tunes by Weezer out of those particular times, like This Is Such a Pity and Beverly Hills Stones, that pitches in perfect situation within certain type aspects, was kind of pitch as far as saying we are all on drugs, stones type aspects, was kind of pitch as far as saying just that typical Tubal type, dredge type, factor pitches like that. So yeah, 10 out of 10 EP here. Sunny type aspects with the tone, just good syruped kind of aspect within like the haze factor, like the usual kind of just gulag type fashions, like the post type sifting pitch like that with a little bit of Thursday spice in there. Sunny type aspects, some break free kind of get some joyrides going pitch like that. So it's within varieties for saying, yeah, 10 album. Social score would probably get the same within these pitches now. So within the varieties for saying, maybe not as full bound 10 social, might be with an asterisk just within the pitch as far as saying, I mean, it's capital type appeal. Plain white tees had enough central kind of commonplace that they're pretty recognizable within these pitches, but for the most part, usually the commonplace about them does not go much past like hey, the Delilah pitch like that, especially 20 especially over 20 years later pitch like that. But this has the gems on here. I definitely say for some Thursday type spice, just going to like a McAllister's or something like that fries, getting like some Wingstop in your system, easy way out. The hit song Easy Way Out is a good choice. Pitches like that. Down the Road's a great joyride type song. Pitch like that. Losing Myself's like a good kind of Green Day. Losing Myself's like a good kind of Green Day type tune within a pitch. It is something to listen to. Just kind of like a porch and a sun pier type aspect within the dredge factor. Just sun gaze pitches like that. And it's just the same aspect I'd say with. And If I Told You basically has Weezer from like the late 90s, early 2000s down to a T with some of those type pitches with this vehicle type fare within like the pitch of this simp type product and connect with quality simp type product and connect as far as those first albums. So excellent type pitches getting towards the aspects as far as these first albums. So good within the flares as far as these pitches kind of go, just paying attention towards it. So in terms of the future, like Plain White Tees has dropped some hit albums within these pitches in terms of that aspect. Their most recent type air is up to the fall of 2023, so excellent type pitches. Hopefully get towards some more hit type ones within these products. I'm going to get to some more of this band within the future as far as these first albums, including the couple ones I reviewed in the past in 2025 and including some of the ones I reviewed in 2025 pitch like that. So section type varieties, hit type EP pitch like that, kind of acquired within aspects as far as like the fair, apart from like the girth of like the Megaton single that on Spotify for particular, for example, has over 1 billion plays on there, pitch like that. Some hit type feels, they have other hits besides that, definitely would give this product a whirl, good pitch like that. Some extra type varieties for like some Thursday kind of jazz and joyride type songs, some good pitch like some Green Day and Weezer type vibes.